Hello, Libra. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to look at your overall energy. I always look at you first, and then I look at the person that's in your energy or coming towards you. And then I look at Aries through Pisces. If you are in no contact with somebody, the Aries through Pisces portion will be what's going on and what to expect this next 7 days. All right, let's jump into this for my Libra. All right, the Hermit card. So some things are kind of quiet. Why is somebody kind of lurking? All right, it's very interesting energy. The Hermit. It's like, I see you, I want this, but I'm just still kind of doing my thing, and very introverted energy. And I see the Ace of Cups, so I didn't even have to see that, and I could just feel in this energy that the light is on. It's been lit, but what's going on? And you can feel it because the Ace of Cups, it feels like something cracked open. Something is happening, but we're not seeing any movement. It's somebody's, thinking about a lot of things, and but still kind of hanging there. So this can show up in your life right now as somebody just being quiet or being a little bit distant, or maybe you said something to somebody, or you started something up with somebody with that Ace of Cups, and all of a sudden somebody goes quiet, but yet you're like, wait a minute, you were just here with me. It wasn't like I'm in this illusion or anything. I just, I wouldn't be here knocking if I didn't see the doorway open, right? So it really does feel like that somebody is always, or was, or is kind of keeping the doorway open, but leaving you guessing. So Virgo energy right there, which does say a lot to me right now with Virgo energies. I think there is a lot of uncertainty going on, even since the eclipse we had in Virgo. So right now, I've been saying a lot lately, like right now, things are just kind of still up in the air, and things are starting to come to light and unfold. So I wouldn't jump to any conclusions just yet. Not with that energy to begin with. So let's look at you first and see what your biggest challenge is and how you view the situation. I see the Knight of Wands, so you're ready, geared up to go. The Lovers card, though, but where's your person? There's the challenge. You're geared up to go. You feel the chemistry. I mean, to me, it just feels like a Knight of Wands. You're very passionate. You know what you want. You're very confident. The Lovers card here, somebody has activated this energy within you. It makes you feel like this could be the one, or this could be, somebody, adventurous, something to go on, something to do, somebody who just feels like just right, with that Lovers card. And you have Gemini energy, you have Sagittarius energy here. So we do see that there's some sort of connection forming here, but the challenge is getting another person to open up. All right, we have two different energies. We have a fire energy coming from you, but the overall energy is the Hermit card, which just feels like you're trying to pull somebody out of their comfort zone, their cave, and come out and enjoy the light for a little bit, right? So we'll see. Lovers cards, though, it's a very powerful card. It can be two people or opposites and really attract one another, but sometimes we have to learn, a little bit more patience with somebody while they're getting to know you and figuring you out. So let's see how you view the situation before we jump into your person's energy. I see the Queen of Pentacles, so that really kind of says a lot right there without even having to go any further. You view the situation slow and steady. You feel, what I like about this is if your person's an earthy energy, it doesn't mean they have to be, but the way you view them or the situation is Queen of Pentacles. So you see somebody who's very responsible, very grounded, very nurturing, very, down to earth. And that's also Virgo energy right there. So when you're dealing with somebody who is in their earthy vibes, this is somebody that likes to take things, a little bit slower, but they definitely see the potential. They're not going to play games. But their slowness may seem to you like they're not interested, or they're just, but see, to them it's just their routine, their pattern, and the way they do things. And so you can see that you're both attracted to one another, but you're fire, you're ready to enjoy life, you're ready to just go on some new adventure, like I said, and you like your freedom, right? And you just don't like to be questioned either. You don't want to question a situation or doubt a situation, especially when you're showing up as the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands energy is like, look, I know I look good, I know I got something here, but you're more active. you're more fiery, you're more passionate right now, and the chemistry is like what you're looking for, like chemistry, passion, right? Maybe not seriousness so much or routine so much. It's not that you don't want that. You kind of, you're in this energy of, I want stability, I'm aiming for something like that, but your energy is saying, I want to live in the moment, right? I want to have some fun. And now all I see here is that you just got some work to do with somebody. You feel like they're not doing anything, or maybe they're just kind of stuck in their ways too. You got the Hermit card. The Hermit card can be somebody who's been alone for a while, down a long road, or just doesn't even know quite yet their direction just yet. And so they're questioning everything. And maybe they are just a little bit timid or nervous about the situation as well, too. All right. I mean, you've got a queen showing up, doesn't matter their gender. And this is somebody that's very warm, very tenderhearted, very caring, nurturing, and just wants to be responsible. They may have a lot of things going on. So let's dive into them and see what I pull up for their energy. I have the Eight of Pentacles, right? You've got a hard worker here, somebody who maybe works a lot, enjoys life, or just got a new job, or somebody's just very focused on their finances, their health, their routine. You see somebody who gets caught up in their routine, and it's not easy for them to just shift their schedule around, or just change the way they are, or just, they're just very disciplined energy. Now, it's just one of the things I look at when I see this, right? Is you're somebody who's spontaneous. You're somebody who's like, I just want to live, if I got something to do, and I see something more fun to do, I know I'm responsible, because the Sagittarius will get it done, but they just don't like the mundane stuff. Like, they really like, so you're showing up here as, I know I got to brush my teeth, I know I got to get shit done, and I got to take care of my bills, but if something fun's coming along, or something is really interesting, I'm definitely gonna make space and make time for it, and I might brush my teeth later, I don't know, right? But you're dealing with somebody that's like, okay, well, I see what you want, but the plans look good, but you got to give me some time. I gotta adjust my schedule, I got to do all these things. And you're going, come on, man, and that's the hyper focusedness of your person, is showing up very earthy. Very earthy can be very controlling energy too. It's like hard to move. It can feel like they have a hard time maneuvering, or hard time just being spontaneous, right? And it doesn't mean they can't. And it also can be they're nervous, right? Especially with this energy, like you've got the heart cracked open with that Ace of Cups, but you see somebody that may avoid, all right, their feelings at first, right? So that's a big one. So let's see what their biggest challenge is. The Nine of Wands, all right? So their biggest challenge is you're dealing with somebody who maybe takes on, this could be a single parent, this could be somebody who's been just alone on their own for a long time, battling a lot of battles themselves. It just seems like they always got something going on. They have to work. They may have a mindset that I've got to be responsible. I got to do this. I have to do this. I have to have certain things. They really hyper focus on everything has to have a plan. Everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be the right timing. Everything has to go a certain way this person wants. So it can be a perfectionist too. So keep in mind though, this person knows it though. Seems like they deal with a lot of health and stress issues because of this as well. And you're in this energy right here, the Knight of Wands, where you may have gotten over that, or you're past that, or you just don't want to live life like that. And you just kind of want to have fun and freedom, like I said. But, your person sees you. You know why? Because they see a part of you that they wish they were. You think Nine of Wands seems very happy to be that energy. It's like your person's worn out. And so their initial excuse might be like, I can't, I got shit I got to do. I got responsibilities. I have problems I have to take care of. But you're over here saying, yeah, but if you just have some fun here, go out and just follow your heart, I see that together we could probably make things happen better, right? Or things would work out, but we've got to take time to enjoy ourselves, right? So really, I'm just seeing a different type of attitude right now when it comes to a situation. But where I see you benefiting is this Lovers card here in the back. The Lovers card is they see you. And there's even something, maybe they're a little envious, right, of this freedom that you have. or this energy that you have, or this, you're so ready, you're happy, or you text and you're just like, what's going on? And let's do this. Or, you know, you just got this very vibrant energy about you that this person loves. So I wouldn't give up too soon, not when the Ace of Cups is coming up in your reading, because that can tell or indicate that you are in a new chapter with this person, right? Maybe you have been trying for quite some time, but something is actually cracking open and changing here, because your person does know that there's a reason why you showed up in their life, and you're opening up their eyes to possibly how life could be or how the situation could be. This kind of person gets caught up in their routines and forgets to put their head up and see what's out there. They get lost in work, routine, life, problems, responsibilities. And it's just, you may be at a point in your life where, or maybe your just personality is just like, look, I got all these same things you do, but I just feel like we've got to look at the brighter side of things, right? So just know that this person sees that within you. Let's see how they view you right now, though, and what might be shifting with them this week and what Spirit wants you to do regardless. All right, so the way they're viewing you, 8 of Wands. All right, so that speaks volumes. A lot of pressure, lots of freedom, lots of fastness, lots of go, 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 go. Let's travel. Maybe you do travel a lot. Maybe you are moving, going, always active, always wanting to converse, you know, just got a lot going on. And so it seems though it's exciting for you, but for your person here, it seems like what your pressure, and don't take this the wrong way, but they've got so much pressure going on with them because of all their responsibilities, that when you come in flying high and you're honest, you must be brutally honest with this person. You must say things to this person that really triggers them too, because your captain call out right now with the Sagittarius energy here. You're Libra, but you're showing up as the Knight of Wands. This is Captain Call Out. This to me is the blunt, like, look, this is what I see. Let's go. All right. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm not gonna tiptoe around the situation. I'm gonna call it as it is. And see, when you have honest communication like this, sometimes it can really stress somebody out or pressure somebody because they know what you're saying and they believe it, but they're not letting go of the control that they have over their life. And it's almost like they're terrified to take that step and just let shit go. You know, you may hear them say things like, well, if I don't get it done, or if nobody else will, or if I'm not responsible, who else is going to be, and so forth, right? So remember, you can flip it too if you want, but this is the way it's coming through. And so this 8 of Wands can tend to feel like you're coming at this person really fast, or things are moving fast and they just can't keep up, or it's just a lot of pressure on them. But to me, it's like, honestly, what I'm feeling is you may be cracking the code here. All right. So but the problem could happen if you decide not to stay in your true form. Your true form of this passion is what's going to crack them to finally give in. You know what I mean? Because I want more fun. I need to take a step back here and chill and go somewhere and, you know, loosen up. So they may see you as very fast and furious. And also, they're 8 of Pentacles, you're 8 of Wands. So they like to plan, and you're like spontaneous. You're like, let's just go. I just want, you know, things to happen, and you want some excitement. So what's shifting this week, and what does Spirit think you should do regardless of what they're doing? So this week, I see the King of Pentacles, all right? So maybe putting forth a little bit more effort. You are seeing now the King and Queen of Pentacles, so it does show me that a relationship is forming. It looks like, you know, pay attention to your person this week, because you may notice with the King of Pentacles, right? The queen, it goes the queen, then it goes the king, right? And they're both masters in their own way, right? But the King of Pentacles will be of service, will actually do things, fix things, take care of things, invest more, you know, acts of service, right? And same thing with a queen, but this is a more masculine energy, so it feels like they will try to comfort the situation, or they will take the next step. We'll go with taking the next step towards you this week, right? Whereas a queen tends to kind of sit back a little bit more, right? A king will step up, step forward. Now, I'm seeing here, a chance for you guys to level up here, maybe them taking a step forward, maybe them grounding in, and that's Taurus energy too. So Taurus, even though, Taurus is kind of a slower energy too, they will still they will pick up speed. They will do something. They will make you feel more comfortable. They will take action, right? But they just are still moving in an earthy pace. So I do feel like your advice for the week, Four of Pentacles, letting go of control a little bit of this one, giving them a little bit more space. But you can see that you are taking a step forward. Like, even though it's the Four of Pentacles, it shows somebody here that's not easily open up. They don't quite jump all in right away, but you definitely see some movement. And the Four of Pentacles is saying you guys are already so far in, there's no turning back now, right? But you may need to slow down a bit, just a bit, but I would say don't let it dim your light. Whatever you're doing is getting this person to step up and wake up, okay? So with that being said, that's what I'm seeing this weekend. You are seeing strong earth come through for you, and you're seeing Gemini come through for you in a Virgo. All right, so let's look at Aries through Pisces. If you are absolutely in no contact with somebody, and or they have said, or you feel like they want something from you, or they want this and they keep coming back around, but they ghost and or just go silent on you. Let's see this week if you see any communication here. This reading up here feels like somebody here that is in your awareness right now that you are just kind of trying to crack the code with, right? But let's see, no contact. Aries, I see the Strength card. So Aries could be holding back still a little bit, but there is a connection and you feel it. They may feel like the best right now is to hold back because they could be doing some healing. There could be something else going on, and their ego could be getting in the way right now. But there still is a bond forming here with the Strength card. You may not hear from them right away. Taurus, Page of Swords. So it looks like you could finally receive the communication with the Taurus this week. Gemini, 10 of Cups, all right? So it does look like a moment of happiness with a Gemini. You may find yourself making plans or getting together, but that is a yes, hearing from them. Cancer, absolutely yes. Chariot card, it's showing them returning here and things picking up, things looking good. Leo, Wheel of Fortune, so it's 50-50 with a Leo, but there is a chance to turn things around for some of you. Virgo, 7 of Wands. There could be still a block here, but it's not completely over. They still have something they need to say or get off their chest, or feels like it's unfinished business. Libra, King of Wands. So Libra may step up, and look at you, Libra energy, King of Wands. So this also tells me, with you showing up as the Knight of Wands and then the King of Wands here, that really stay true to your vision. Don't lose your light, all right? You got to stay true to what it is you want, because that's what's going to get the shift to happen and your person to follow you. You're showing up as fire, and you just have somebody here that's a little bit more introverted. So extroverted, introverted, but you're holding the torch, right? So another Libra, you could get conversation from them this week. Scorpio, 9 of Pentacles, definitely could get conversation with them too. Just keep in mind they're very independent. So, that could be also, this earthy energy of somebody that is so hyper-focused on themselves and doing things on their own that they're not always available. Sagittarius, I see King of Swords. You may get communication with a Sagittarius, but they do still show up a little bit impartial to the situation, or uncertain or indifferent, maybe just a little bit detached. Capricorn, I see the 8 of Swords. They're afraid to reach out. They may feel like, they doubt it still, or there's just too much noise between the two of you. Scorpio, Sag, Cap. Aquarius, the Hierophant. So you could receive messages from an Aquarius here, right? The Hierophant talks about leveling up. Pisces, the 9 of Cups. So we are seeing a yes with a Pisces as well too. So if you're still with me, I'm going to do a bonus yes, no for you. So think of your question. All right, you have a yes. Look at this. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So this week, the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, a lot of earthy energy showing up for you, Libra. So it tells me here with Uranus here too and Virgo, you may be dealing with somebody that is a perfectionist, somebody who's just very grounded and, you know, just slow to react, slow to take action or change their ways, you know. But Uranus says that things could actually surprise you. All right. And the Queen of Pentacles, earthy energy, is just a reminder that if you're dealing with somebody with earthy energy, that's where you have a lot of fire showing up for you. It's like, you know, the fire, don't dim your light, but just know that too much fire on an earth can make them feel pressure. All right. So I love you guys and take care.